Harambee! Neno hili si hivyo. Mambo ni matatu.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome back to our channel once again. Professor Peter Anyang Nyong'o, one of the most powerful individuals within the ODM party, has made it very, very clear that ODM party will produce a presidential candidate in 2027. How will that affect William Ruto's re-election bid? Because you all know that William Ruto will be defending his seat. And William Ruto is depending fully on the support of the ODM party. In this video, I want us to do a critical analysis about that statement by Professor Peter Anyang Nyong'o. And I want us to focus on two things. The first thing I want us to focus on is who will the ODM party front as their presidential candidate. I'm thinking of three individuals. And number two, why do you think now they're deciding to finally sponsor a candidate in 2027? Before you do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, let us dive in. And let us begin by looking at who are the potential presidential candidates ODM party can front in 2027. My first choice is going to shock you. Edwin Sifuna. I've been studying Edwin Sifuna. And since I always believe that in politics, nothing happens out of mere coincidence, and that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve specific political objectives, Edwin Sifuna's political moves within ODM party are really interesting. At some point, you'd think that Edwin Sifuna is on his way out of the party, that is joining Kalonzo, that is going to run. At some point, you also get the feelings that Edwin Sifuna is actually being prepared for a bigger seat by ODM party. And in my own understanding, this is what is likely to happen. ODM party, if they were to front a candidate, they are likely to front Edwin Sifuna as the presidential candidate and pair Edwin Sifuna with none other than Babu Owino as the running mate. The two will capture the imagination of the country. Because the truth is, they've played their politics so well to an extent that when Raila Odinga was muddied through the Gen Z protest, Edwin Sifuna came out clean. The Gen Zs don't have any problem with Edwin Sifuna. Edwin Sifuna is still loved by the Azimio strongholds. The Kamba nation still love him. They're not angry with him the way they're angry with Raila Odinga. What about Babu Owino? The same. Babu Owino can actually be voted for even by the staunch supporters of Rigathi Gachagua. So, in my view, I want to go back to what Professor Peter Anyang Nyong'o said some time back. Anyang Nyong'o was very clear that Edwin Sifuna is the future of the party. And it's the same guy who is making this declaration. So my first pick is Edwin Sifuna. I don't know whether you agree that if ODM party were to front Edwin Sifuna and Babu Owino as presidential candidate, if ODM party were to front Edwin Sifuna and Babu Owino as their presidential ticket, if you agree that can be a sure bet, let me know.
I think none of you knows matters arising from what has been spoken here. Are we together? First, the issue of Sifuna, Edward Sifuna. I think none of you knows how Edwin Sifuna came into ODM. Edwin used to write in the Standard very good articles. And after serving 12 years as Secretary General of ODM, I asked the party leader to allow me to concentrate in developing the research wing of the party and give the technocracy to another Secretary General. We tried a few people. It never worked. So one day I said, this young man who writes so well in the Standard and has an email address, let me call him to have a lunch with him. And I had lunch with Sifuna at the United Kenya Club, and I was very impressed. So I went and talked to the party leader. There's a young man here who I want to introduce to the party, he's a professional journalist. So can you meet him? The party leader said yes. When he met Sifuna, he was very impressed. And after a few weeks, Sifuna was made the Secretary General of ODM and has served faithfully till today. Makofi kwake basi. Secondly, I think you read the interview that Sifuna had Kenya Times recently, where he made it very, very clear. Being the Secretary General at the spokesperson of the party, he clarified every issue. And since then, we have not seen any writing about Sifuna in the newspapers at all. Sasa wewe ni nani? Sasa wewe unaanza leo kupinga Sifuna. Wewe ni nani? We in the party sourced Sifuna from his professional work to bring him to the party. And he has been doing an excellent job since then. Ama sivyo? So let us support him. We in the party support him. Let the people support him. The guy is built for the future. Ama sivyo? The guy is built for the future. You know what I mean? Ukiangalia huko mbele, utaona Sifuna. Utaona nani? Sifuna. If you don't know what I'm saying, go home, fikiria. Sawa sawa?
The second person they can front is Raila Odinga. But Raila Odinga will be fronted not to win. Two things. Raila Odinga can be fronted because there's a strong feelings, especially within Raila Odinga's strongholds, that if Raila Odinga will not be on the ballot, then the ODM party might not win as many seats as possible. So there's the pressure from his allies, especially Luo Nyanza, the coastal region, and of course the Luya nation, for Raila Odinga to revamp his image, then run for the presidency. Let me ask you this question. If Raila Odinga were to decide today to dump William Ruto, what do you think would happen? I don't know, but that could be a possibility. And of course, there are also those who believe that without ODM party running, ODM party will lose its relevance. ODM party will lose its relevance, and therefore ODM must front a candidate. And the third candidate, which I believe ODM party might front, is none other than William Samoei Arap Ruto. William Ruto is a founding member of ODM party. If you look at the Prime Cabinet Secretary, a founding member of ODM party. Raila Odinga, a founding member of ODM party. So they might decide that Raila is running, Ruto is running. Then what is going to happen is that towards the tail end of the campaigns, they'll be working up to 2026, their coalition agreement. They'll be working, but Raila will be pursuing his presidential bid. Ruto will also be pursuing his presidential bid. Then what's going to happen is that at some point, they're going to agree that let us have a joint candidate. And because William Ruto is the current president, the arrangement is going to be made that Ruto is the presidential candidate, Raila is the running mate, or ODM to produce a running mate. That's a possibility. So that coalition might have the name of ODM somewhere and UDA somewhere. Because remember, William Ruto did something to Mudavadi. Mudavadi agreed and folded his party. Which means if UDA were to enter into an agreement with ODM, Mudavadi will be playing balls automatically. So for me, I believe very strongly that ODM party can front William Ruto as their presidential candidate, but produce a running mate. that, ladies and gentlemen, why do you think ODM party has finally decided that we are going to produce a presidential candidate? Before I give you that, allow me to also tell you about a movie, Freedom Through Solidarity. This movie is about the role played by USSR in ending apartheid. For those who love history, I want to challenge you to go to YouTube, search for Freedom Through Solidarity. Only 42 minutes. Watch that documentary. I'm going to pin it in the comments. Then you'll come and thank me later. Ladies and gentlemen, the first reason why ODM party has finally made their mind to front a presidential candidate is because they want to consolidate their bases. If ODM will not produce a presidential candidate, or if ODM will not be seen to be producing a presidential candidate, the bases will be dull. They must be seen to be producing a presidential candidate. For example, if it's Sifuna, ODM must be seen that, okay, we are fronting Sifuna. And then Sifuna will be made to traverse their strongholds. If that candidate will be Raila Odinga again, the same. He will be moving around, traversing their strongholds. By doing that, they'll be consolidating their bases. William Ruto will be the ultimate presidential candidate supported by ODM party. But ODM will only be valuable to William Ruto if their bases are strong. For example, William Ruto will not need ODM party if they don't command the Luo nation. If they don't command the Luo nation, he will not even need them in the first place. So strategically, Raila and ODM will front a candidate who will not reach the ballot, just to consolidate their bases. Number two, and this is very, very important, ODM party is keen on attracting aspirants to their side. That's very important for the visibility of the party. As we speak, there's going to be a by-election in Malava constituency. Malava constituency is in Kakamega County. Kakamega County has how many MPs? I think, are they 12? Majority of them, almost 80% of them, are from ODM party. But ODM party is not fronting a parliamentary candidate in Malava by-election. For me, that sends a very wrong signal that ODM party is dead in Kakamega. That's exactly what's going to happen if they want to produce a presidential candidate to consolidate their bases. Then towards the tail end of the campaigns, they'll organize a massive rally where they'll throw their weight behind, for example, either Ruto or whoever they want to support. Then explain to their supporters that kuwa panya, kuna njia mingi ya kuwa panya. You can go this route, you can go this route, and then the followers will be following that route. But if they don't do that now, they will not attract aspirants. Because these aspirants, for example, if in a constituency, there are 5 aspirants running on ODM party, they'll keep the party alive. They keep the branding of the parties, because if they print merchandise, the names of the parties, so that visibility. And importantly, by attracting aspirants, it increases the chance of those aspirants winning. And if more aspirants were to contest on ODM party, their chances of winning are high. It will translate to more being elected to those various seats. And that will lead to the qualification to or for the political parties' funds. That is the funds which sustain political parties. As we speak, ODM party is strong, not because of anything, because of the numbers which translated to political parties' funds, and because of those political parties' funds, ODM party can pay for office, they can pay for staffs, they can pay for political activities, and that's why ODM party has survived up to today. Number three, it could also be a strategy by Raila Amolo Odinga and the ODM party to raise their stakes during negotiations. The thing is, as we speak in the Republic of Kenya, no single political party can win the presidency. Not a single party. So which means a coalition kind of arrangement must be made. How do you negotiate? You can only negotiate from a point of strength. ODM's strength has always been the numbers. How will they persuade anybody that they have the numbers? Raila must be running, or Sifuna must be running. They'll have to charge the country. Then they can sit with any other part of the coalition, whether Kalonzo, whether Ruto, or whoever, and say that for us, we are willing to forfeit the presidency this time. What are you offering us? And they'll be asked the question. Canvass have gone, the lawyers have gone, the cases have gone. Where are your numbers? Then they'll justify that, of course, Sifuna is now running, the lawyers are back into the fold. Because Sifuna is running, the cases have come back. So the idea of raising stakes is actually true. And lastly, it could also be fallback strategy. That in case their working arrangement with Kenya Kwanza will fail, their working arrangement with William Ruto will fail, then they'll have somewhere to start from. They'll go back to the drawing board, offer the candidate, run, tell their people, sisi tulijaribu kufanyia hii serikali kazi, we tried working with them, not possible. Ladies and gentlemen, do you think ODM party still has a chance of producing the next president of the Republic of Kenya, especially in 2027? Let me read your comments below. Bye-bye.